Oh yeah, hi ants. That's some wet wood. Oh, you know when you're like working, when you feel like there's ants everywhere on you? That's how I feel right now. That used to be a 2x4. That's not good. So that's the bottom part. What do I do? Okay, what I've decided to do for now is I'm gonna bring my shop back in. I'm gonna continue to bore holes along this piece of wood because it just seems like it's rotted out. Just keep digging. I think the good thing is that it's not like I took the piece of wood out and there was a million ants everywhere, but there's definitely ants in there, but they're getting in somehow, so they must be tunneling in. You can see the tunnel. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see a tunnel through that piece. This is not how I pictured today going. Oh boy. Oh, it's a blustery, thunderstormy kind of day here today. It definitely doesn't feel like summer, but that gives me ample opportunity to work inside. I've been doing a lot of research over the last couple of days, trying to figure out what to do with this gap, what to do with the ants, why the ants are here in the first place. And what I found out a lot actually. I've learned a lot about carpenter ants. When you find carpenter ants, they're usually an indication that there's moisture somewhere and moisture damage because they like the ease of excavating rotted wood, and they're not eating the wood like termites. They're actually creating galleries or places to live, lay their eggs and whatnot. And they're actually super clean builders and excavators. So they take all of the, whatever they're removing out. And that's why you usually find piles of, I don't remember what it's called, but you find piles of sawdust essentially in places where they've started to remove it from tunnels in the areas that they're excavating. Like this piece of 2x4 that was left in the concrete. This slab most likely wasn't poured in one pour. It's a big pour. So what I believe they did was formed sections and use construction joints or forms to form those sections. And in older construction, they used to leave parts of those forms like this 2x4 in the concrete. And they essentially just left it there to rot away eventually. Even as I've been crouched here talking, I've seen some ants. I thought since I got rid of their home and the moist rotted wood that would draw them into this space that they'd disappear. But it seems like there's not a ton of them, but there's still ants wandering into this space. So we want to take care of that. We've got ant traps everywhere. I have this, after doing research and also looking up how to pronounce this, because this is supposed to be a safer option. Diatomaceous. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Diatomaceous earth.
Diatomaceous earth. I could edit this and make it seem like I just knew how to say diatomaceous earth and make myself look smart, but let's be real. I'm just figuring these things out as I go, so diatomaceous earth. So I figured out a solution for the gap because I don't want to just leave a gap. One, I made sure the concrete isn't moist. There's no wet or soft concrete down below, closer to where the ground is. It doesn't seem like there's a ton of ants in there. There's no water rising up through the ground that I can see. So I think the moisture problem was pretty localized to this area. I'm going to sprinkle this diatomaceous earth into the cavity. This odorless and non-staining powder can be used without fear of damage to pets, birds, fish, or wildlife. We're also going to be checking outside because there are definitely carpenter ants in the other garage as well. And we have several old rotting stumps. And that was one of the #1 things that you're supposed to check for, because there's a main nest somewhere and often they're in stumps. And then there's satellite nests for carpenter ants. So I'm fairly certain there is a big rotten old stump sitting right outside. So if you see where this plumbing is running out, and if you think about where the hose bib is in comparison to where these ants seem to be getting into this space, it's literally on the other side of this wall. So it makes sense. Honestly, it wouldn't take long. If humans disappeared, Mother Nature, insects, animals, they'd take back over in probably a couple years. Wouldn't even be able to recognize that we were here. I will be putting this backer rod into, because I don't want to just leave the gap. I don't want to put another piece of wood in there. I don't want to fill it with concrete because I think concrete would just crack. And if there is any movement, it's just not great for the slabs. So after some research, I decided I'm gonna put this backer rod in. It says for larger joints, twist multiple strands of rod together to fill the gap. I'm gonna stuff that into the gap and then hopefully only leave about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch at the top, which I'm gonna fill with this Sikaflex self-leveling sealant. This is a product that's specifically made for horizontal applications like gaps in slabs. So I've got a bunch of these and it's self-leveling as well. So I'm just gonna fill the top because again, I don't wanna leave this gap open. And then finally I can get to installing the rest of the DRIcore. Okay, so I have everything cleaned up in here. This is how the joint turned out. So it ended up just below the concrete, but it's sealed all the way, so there's no access. Looks good. I mean, it's gonna get covered up anyway, but at least it's sealed up with something that won't rot. And now I'm finishing this section. Big things happening today.
Big things, huge things.
Kind of actually scary things.
Yeah.
I've never installed mirrors before.
Yeah, very breakable, fragile.
I was told by Rick that they're pretty durable.
Yeah.
Just don't damage the corners.
They're still fragile.
Yes. Matt found a
Great
deal. Matt found a great deal on Facebook Marketplace. That's his thing. So now we're going to attempt to install some gym mirrors.
Yeah, without
And
breaking them.
Without breaking them.
Making sure that they're straight.
So we're starting with the bottom track. I'm gonna have to find the studs, install the track, measure up, install the brackets.
And then we put the mirror in and slide the clips down. That's
Yes.
right.
I think we can do this.
Well, we'll just do it slow,
Yes.
think it through.
Yeah, we've got a whole nap time to get these in, so
2.5 hours or 2 hours at
let's see if
least.
we can do it. I'm gonna use this drill bit. Looks about right. It's got a big head, so you don't have to worry too much.
Perfect.
Yeah, that works, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Beaut.
Now we can fasten it.
Here we go.
So we're going 10 inches to the bottom. And then definitely hit. Okay, track in. So the mirror guy gave us a measurement from the bottom of the track to the bottom of our clips that go on the top. 69. Thanks.
Teamwork. Why doesn't your husband ever do anything? He puts the screw on. You get a third drill so that I can have it already loaded. And you just change the
Change it
drills.
out.
Yeah.
I have a third drill.
Yeah, it's right there.
69. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize DRIcore was squeaky.
It's the subfloor.
It better not smell. You better believe if that picked up, I'm putting it in the video.
It won't pick
That's your own fault. What?
It won't pick up.
It was only a little squeak. This is what I have to deal with when someone else works with me.
Yeah, that's why you never let me come help.
I just need a hand,
Yeah,
one of those hand drills.
those manual drills.
Okay, you're in.
How's it?
It needs to go your way a little. Yeah, just a little. Yeah. Okay.
You good?
Yeah. You should be able to kind of rest.
Sweet.
Okay.
It's gonna look great. We have 2 seats. It's gonna be perfect.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna end the video there. Don't forget to hit the like button and the little bell so you're notified every time I release a new video. Have an awesome week and I will see you next time.